your community.
A new Apple TV Plus series takes us to London, where two agents and former lovers must work together to stop international cyber attacks from hurting the United Kingdom.
But that's not all. The agents have to deal with their own destructive relationships. Film critic Pam Powell talks to actor Vincent Cassel on his lead role in Liaison.
Vincent Cassel, thank you so much for joining me on WCIA TV to talk about your incredibly intense and thrilling new series on Apple TV, Liaison. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Now, and I have to tell you, I am totally hooked on it. I only allowed myself to watch 3 episodes. I didn't want to get ahead, although as soon as we're done with this episode, I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm going to go watch it.
Thanks. Good to know.
And tell me, you executive produced this, and I want to talk a little bit about that if we have time at the end, but let's get into your character of Gabriel. He kind of teeters between the bad guy and the bad guy with some good intentions. But we never see quite where he falls, at least not yet. It's a really complicated character. To me, it is. Tell me about creating that character from your perspective.
Well, I think the characters become interesting when you don't know what to think about them from one scene to another. You know, then they become mysterious and eventually intriguing. If you know what to think about somebody from the start, then what's the point of keep on watching the series, really? You know, it's interesting to see one revealing different aspect of him as we do in real life, you know. I mean, personally, I keep on discovering new aspect of myself, being confronted to a new situation that comes across my life day by day. I don't really believe in that thing that there's a good guy and a bad guy. I think this is more like a cinematic point of view. But in real life, we all know that it's always more complicated than that, more complex. And that's what I've been trying to portray with him.
Very good. Let's talk a little bit about creating the series. You executive produced this. What hooked you? What made you want to be a part of this series?
Well, the thing is that I've been approached by the production, by Apple, very earlier on. Virginie Braque, the author, was already there, of course, involved, but the rest was totally not clear. And so I didn't want to be caught in something where I would be deceived by the choices of others, and I wanted to keep an hand on it. So I managed to have this position so I would have a little more latitude artistically. And the other thing why I wasn't interested being involved with this, it's that it was for me the first opportunity to get involved with such an international project without leaving my French identity, and being able to create that French anti-hero far from the stereotypes that we have of spies and all these things, you know, and come up with something, let's say, a little more gritty and a little more realistic somehow, was very interesting to me.
You talk about going all over the world. This series does take us to a lot of different places. One thing that has always intrigued me about your characters that you play throughout your cinematic history is your language, your command of languages, plural. Incredible command of that. And you use this in this film as well, English and French and other languages. How many languages do you speak, and what is the most difficult thing for you to do when you're using different languages within the series?
I speak properly if my English is proper. I would say I speak 4 pretty good. 5 I can pretend. 6 if I work on it. But then, you know, it's about making believe, really. So, for example, Arabic, which I speak in the series, I don't speak Arabic, but I've learned how to pronounce and to look so it looks like it's natural, but I don't speak Arabic. Arabic is really complicated. But I worked on Vietnamese, I worked on Russian, I worked on, you know, it's kind of a challenge each and every time. And what I realized that the more you learn how to speak languages, the easiest it becomes, because your brain starts to function in a different way. And plus, the idea is to keep your mind open, to stay flexible, and to be open to anything new appearing in your life.
Yeah, I unfortunately have to wrap up quickly. Can you tell me very quickly about what is one scene that you can't wait for your viewers to see you in, an important scene to you, without giving anything away?
I would say the last one.
Now I have to go run.
When you'll see it, you'll understand.
All right, wonderful. Vincent Cassel,
Cheers.
Thank you so much for talking with me today about
Thanks.
Liaison and Apple TV+.
I'd say that was the perfect answer.
Well done, sir. All right, well, thanks to film critic Pam Powell for that interview.
Liaison is available on Apple TV Plus today.